Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. I'm so excited you are here, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Christy and I love sharing the many projects that I work on, and for today's video I'm going to be working on this chest of drawers. I found this furniture piece on a yard sale page and I paid around $20 to $25 for it, and I'm so excited to finally have time to finish this piece. It's been sitting in my garage waiting for me to work on it, and finally I'm getting to it. So I'm going to be removing all of the drawers, and I'm going to be wiping down this piece with some warm water and soap. It was not dirty at all. It was a well-kept piece, so it's going to be an easy cleanup for me this time. But if you follow me on Instagram, you actually already saw this. I always share background footage of what I'm working on, and also I created a poll and you all voted on the look for me to do on this piece. So you all voted on a two-tone look. You wanted a gray background with natural wood drawer fronts. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be using this beautiful gray color by Behr paint. This is Euro Gray. I will have it linked in the description down below for you. This gray is so warm and beautiful. It was just such a perfect gray color, and I'm going to be giving this piece 2 coats. This is not chalk paint. I always get asked what kind of paint I use. I do use chalk paint, but this one is not chalk paint. This is just normal interior paint, and I'm using it in the eggshell finish, so I'm not going to need to use any sealer on this piece. After I put the 2 coats, it is good to go. I'm also going to be using a foam roller. I tend to like to use rollers when I'm painting bigger pieces, because when I use paintbrushes my hands hurt really bad and they end up throbbing for days. So the paint roller or the foam roller works a lot better for me. If I could, I would spray this piece, but it is cold and rainy outside, so I ended up using the foam roller, and it gives great coverage. I love using the foam roller with any paint, and I didn't water this paint down or anything. This is just poured straight from the can and on the piece. I am using a paintbrush to get in the corners, because with the foam roller you really can't get in there, so I do use the paintbrush for those areas. Always make sure that when you are using a roller you watch your edges, because sometimes paint kind of bubbles over on the edge, and when it dries it doesn't look really nice. It looks kind of messy. So always make sure to inspect your piece after you paint, look around, make sure there's no dribbles and drips on corners and things like that. But this is the second coat, and that is all I did for this piece. I just did 2 coats. Now I'm going to be working on the drawers. I'm going to be removing the hardware, and I like to save the hardware because you never know when you can reuse it. Once I remove the hardware, I will be sanding the drawer fronts down to the wood. I used 100 grit sandpaper, and I'm using my orbital sander to do it. This was the longest part of the whole project. It took me a while to do this because there were 7 drawers to strip back, but it was worth it in the end. It really made the whole chest look just so nicely with the natural wood in the front. I will be staining the drawer fronts, and I will share with you the stain name here in a little bit. Remember to sand with the grain of the wood when you are working with any project. I'm going to be filling in these holes on the longer drawers with some wood filler. The hardware that I'm going to be using is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to have to drill my own holes. I'm going to sand everything down and making sure everything's smooth once the wood filler is dry. And then I'm going to take a tack cloth and wipe all of my drawer fronts before I proceed with staining. I'm using a new stain color that I've never used before. The stain color is called Special Walnut, and I'm so excited about it. I really love the color of it, and I thought it would work really nicely with the gray of the chest of drawers that I'm doing. So I really like this. Remember, stain with the grain of the wood when you are using stain. Now to seal my project, I'm going to be using polyacrylic, and this is in the satin finish. I'm using a tack cloth once again to wipe down the drawer fronts before I apply my first coat of the sealer. I highly recommend that you make sure that your drawer fronts are nice and clean from dust, because once you seal it, it's going to stay on there. Once I apply my first coat, I'm going to let it dry for about 2 hours. Always follow the directions on the sealer that you are using. Once it is dry, I'm going to go in with a fine grit sanding block, and I'm going to lightly sand the tops of the drawer fronts just to make sure everything's nice and smooth. And for my finished product to be nice and smooth, I am applying little to no pressure to the sanding block on the tops of the drawers. I'm really just gliding it on there. Then I'm taking a tack cloth once again, wiping it clean, and applying my second coat of sealer. I'm only going to be doing 2 coats for this project. Now I'm going to be adding the hardware to my drawer fronts, and then our project is complete. I will leave in the description where this hardware is from. I did get it from Lowe's, but I will find the link for you all. I love this hardware. It is really great quality. Let's remember what it looked like before. And now for the after. I'm so pumped up about how this turned out. What makes this so much more special is that you all got to vote on the look that I went with, and I love it. I love the gray. I love the wood tone against the gray. I love the hardware. It's just a beautiful piece. It's so crazy what a little bit of love can do to a piece, and it just brings it back to life. It gives it new life. It gives it a new look, which is awesome. But I'm so glad you were here with me. I hope you were inspired and motivated. If you haven't already, click that red subscribe button and become part of the Hats fam. And I'm praying for you all. I hope you are all safe during this crazy time. And I'm so excited to be back here on YouTube to bring you guys more content. All right, guys, I will catch you all in the next video. Bye-bye.